It's the holiday season, so we're replicating what may be going on at many of your family gatherings right now. Fighting, arguing, debating. Usually we agree with each other though. It's Board Game Battle, the show where we pit two random board games that we've played against each other and decide which we like better to ultimately fill out and build a list of all of our collective favorite games.
We also try to do these battles a little bit less analysis than before, so we may disagree maybe later on, but we'll see what happens.
It's lightning fast. We don't take any chances here.
You have two there.
I only get one. All right. Our first battle is going to be the DC deck building game Rebirth.
That loves coming up every... I'm going to retire that.
We have yet to see the original DC deck building game, I think.
I have Stop Thief from Restoration Games, which is the remake of Stop Thief. Is it just Stop or Stop Thief?
No, you're right. Yeah, Stop Thief.
I love Stop Thief. I think it's going to be hard for Restoration Games. Like, I love deck building, but almost all the Restoration games, I just love the quality and the game. It's just so fun to hear the and just trying to guess that stuff.
I'll agree with you. I will say this one's not like a total runaway for me.
It's not.
Stop Thief isn't my favorite Restoration game, and I do like Rebirth, but at the end of the day, I think I would go with
I feel bad for keep beating up Rebirth because I like it. It's just...
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is.
I gotta make sure I never pick that. It needs to sleep. It needs to rest.
The Great Dinosaur Rush. This is the one where you're putting the bones together of the dinosaur fossils.
And I have, a new one, Medium.
Oh, very
party game.
Party game where you're reading each other's minds and shouting out words together.
That is really fun, and especially when you get on sync, you can feel really cool, but dinosaurs, man.
Oh, you're going Dinosaur Rush.
I'm going Dinosaur Rush.
I think it's, they're both, I think it's a toss-up for me, but I think Medium is my pick. I like the style of it, the fun gameplay.
Then that means we're going to the battle. Since we have a tiebreaker, of course, if you haven't seen before, we're gonna look at Board Game Geek and look at their average rating. I'm coming in at a 7.12 for the Great Dinosaur Rush.
Wow, Medium, I can't believe I used both digits, 7.18. I can't believe it came that close. I seem to be good at winning the tiebreakers.
I don't like the same things as everyone else.
Yeah, I go along with the crowd, and you're a unique fella. That's your thing.
You put yours back in.
I put it back in,
Great. Because it could come up again. We're allowing that.
All right. Next up, Speechless. This is charades, basically, but more for gamers.
Mine is Space Cadets, the game where each player takes on a role on a ship and have different actions, though. So one player, it might be playing a timed action game of trying to flip tokens. Another might be flicking and doing a dexterity game. I'm going to have to go with Space Cadets on this one because it really has this fun, everyone's freaking out and trying to do things, and really has that simulation of almost like I think Artemis is the video game where you each have a different role on a ship, and I think that's really fun and it doesn't hit the table as often as it should.
I think that by virtue of just Speechless it really is charades with some extra stuff, and maybe I have more fun with it, but Space Cadets I think is good. I think it deserves the credit. It's cool, so I agree with you. I'm going with that one over Speechless. All right, what do we got next? I have a good feeling the next one's going to be a juicy one.
I don't have that feeling. I think we're going to get some of our common...
our old favorites. Post-Human I've got here. This is an old adventure mutant game with a hidden role kind of aspect. You can get, well, not really hidden, you can get transformed into a mutant. I guess it's hidden. It's a game about mutants.
I do have one that likes to pop up. The End is Nigh. This is about the end of the world. So I guess this is the apocalyptic.
Yeah, they're both current apocalypse games. I think for me, I like what End of Nigh does. It's a fun little indie game. It's simple, but it's creative.
Honestly, I am going to go for that only because I think it's more because I really don't like in Post-Human. The way the game works is you all start with human trying to, first one to make it to the sanctuary because apparently they have room for only one person wins. But you can become mutant, and if everyone becomes mutant, everyone wins. And almost it's like, why don't we just become mutants?
It has some weird team balance issues going for it, yeah.
At least when we played, it just...
I've got a big one here. Chinatown, negotiation trading game is really what it is. You're trying to establish businesses in Chinatown.
And I have Decrypto, the party game when each side is trying to guess the other team's words.
This is an interesting one. Don't have much in common, these two games, but they are both good for the same kind of size group, I think. Like if you have, Chinatown only goes up to 5, but it feels like kind of a more party end of that style of game.
I'm gonna have to go with Decrypto, but that's because in our play group, I just feel like it starts coming. I'm just not gonna trade with you. I know you want that.
I don't think that happened when we played Chinatown.
Not as much. A little bit. It did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that is part of the game.
Right, and I just don't like that. I just is not.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like bartering trading games as much. I like
That's
a
fair.
solid. This is $5 kind of thing.
Yeah. I did like Chinatown a lot. I think it has a lot going for
Also,
it.
I love coming up with when you come up with a really good clue.
I do. I tend to lean towards word games, so I think I'm going to give it to Decrypto as well. But a tip of my hat to Chinatown. All right, I've got one here. Adventure Games, the Adventure Games style co-op puzzle solving series from Cosmos.
And I have Evolution, the game about evolving and having your species thrive against all odds.
That's
mainly
Evolution.
Other players.
Yeah, Evolution is the winner.
Yeah.
I'm not even. It's that's a classic, Evolution.
I
at
love
this
those
point.
animals. Yeah, and it's just so.
I'm excited to finally, if we ever get the chance to play Oceans.
Oh
at
man,
last.
so yeah.
Been waiting for that one, I feel like, at every convention we go to. Kind of on the same lines as Evolution, we've got Ecos from AEG, but this time you've got your animals and you're populating the world with them. Different powers you have.
And I have Evo.
Wait a minute. We've got Ecos and Evo. Now that's a good matchup. Evo, that's the dinosaur game that kind of has like, it's almost like a bidding mechanic for your actions.
Yeah. Wow, that is really old. That was one of my first.
It's a classic.
It was like the board didn't change. I was about to say it was like Ecos, but you had animals, and the idea is you have different temperatures. You have to bid on DNA pieces for them to survive.
An interesting game. I think there's a reason we don't play it as much anymore. I think Ecos is the better game.
Rough around the edges, and I definitely think I should play it again.
It's
but
early.
I think Ecos probably has a bit more going with it now, but it's definitely needs to be revisited.
I think for how early that game came out shows. I think that like we've just developed a lot more in the last 5 years since we first played that. Gameplay, design
Still,
wise.
it survived my culling.
Hey, that's because you love dinosaurs.
I do.
I think if
but
it was,
I do want to play it some more before.
Yeah.
But I still remember relatively fondly.
If it were about cars, you might not have it anymore.
Hey, I'm a Transformers fan.
I'm keeping
and
it.
Grand Tour.
I've got Chinatown again.
right,
So let's see
if
what
you
Chinatown goes up against this time.
Well, is now up against Unmatched.
So I assume you're picking Unmatched.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'd be
do-
surprised if you went back on it. I feel bad. I do like Unmatched a lot. I kind of feel like I want to give Chinatown a win on this one, but I'm gonna stick with Unmatched. I guess we'll give it to Unmatched. Unmatched remains unmatched. So dumb. I'll say it every time it comes up and wins.
Of course.
Unless it loses, then I'll say finally it is matched. All right.
It is Meta's match.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. Ancient Terrible Things. This is a
dice game, like somewhat Yahtzee kind of deal.
Lovecraft themed.
I guess sort of. It's a bit more
Isn't
dark.
it?
It's more like Dark Continent.
Well, it's certainly
there is something
eldritch.
not nearly as obvious as I guess as some others.
Not specifically Cthulhu.
Well, I've got to return Space Cadets.
Yeah, I like Space Cadets more than I like Ancient Terrible Things.
Ideally do, but the difference is I feel like it's much harder to get this to the table because it requires a bigger group and stuff.
Well, what do you
I
like?
think I'm gonna go with this because it's like it's not enough. I think for me to push it over that one, like that, like maybe some other 4-player games.
Okay,
but
fair.
It's definitely one of the big problems with Space Cadets is because it's also asymmetrical with all the roles.
It's a bit hard to teach people sometimes too. Yeah. Here's a classic, Love Letter. Bluffing, deduction game, quick, simple party game. One of my favorites.
And we have Quelf, the party game where weird things are gonna happen. It's Love Letter.
Yeah, Love Letter's the winner there. Here's one from Level 99 Games, Millennium Blades, that simulates a CCG but in a board game format.
Ooh, and I have Sentinels of the Multiverse, the own hero game from Greater Than Games, where you'll have a deck of cards to play as a certain hero.
This is an interesting one.
I'm gonna go with Millennium Blade just because as someone who's played so much CCGs in his lifetime, just having that simulation and it mocks all of them in there was a lot of fun.
My thing with Millennium Blades was there was a lot going on that I found a little bit overwhelming, and I do love the Sentinels gameplay. It's not perfect either, but I'm gonna pick Sentinels, so let's see what our breaker is. Sentinels of the Multiverse, Board Game Geek score is 7.26.
Millennium Blades is going to pull this off with a very lucky 7.77.
All right.
See,
nice.
I can pick a winner.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It is definitely a really well-designed game. Now we're going to get into our Gauntlet round.
That's right.
So we let our Patreon supporters vote on what game they wanted to see enter the Gauntlet next, and this time around we chose holiday-themed games.
With a bit of a stretch.
There's only so many of those if you don't know. So the one that we landed on for this episode is Photosynthesis.
Because, trees.
They're like Christmas trees. I mean, aren't they evergreens? Aren't they? Or they're
Some of them.
Yeah.
They have different species.
Yeah, right. So you can have Christmas trees in there. This is really an abstract style game about growing trees and getting certain light patterns with them. So let's see, it's going up against 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is one that was a darling a couple years ago, but I know I didn't love it as much as many people did. So it might not, it might have some stiff competition for me in this entry. So only I pick one.
I just give them to you and you just read
I know, I was waiting for you. So Photosynthesis this time is going up against Exit. So the Exit series of games, the escape room games. Some are better than other, but we're counting them as one for our purposes right now.
For the general mechanics and stuff, unless there's like one that really stands out from being bad or good, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's maybe my bias showing, but I think Exit is my pick. It's close though, but I have really loved, as far as all the escape room games have gone, those are maybe some of my favorite ones.
I've had a couple issues with Exit, but overall, especially if you have a nice small group, it's so nice to play Exit, especially with the two of us when we review things, because sometimes we're like, we gotta make sure you have more. Those two were like, we don't want anyone else. It's just us with the puzzles.
Yeah.
We get the puzzles.
That's right, I'm greedy for those puzzles. Next up, we're gonna be going up against Just One.
I almost pulled out another. You got me.
Sorry, Photosynthesis. I think Just One is one of our favorite party games the last couple years.
No, it just works so well with the party game, and I feel like it makes it so all the kind of knowledge is brought to the table. Not like certain card games where I didn't get the inside joke. You could bring it whether you like a lot of movies. You can use movie clues and stuff. It works.
Yeah. Pretty different categories, but yeah, Just One's overtaken that.
I don't know why I'm shuffling this because I'm just.
You sure are. All right, now we got the X-Files board game.
Oh, definitely Photosynthesis.
Guess what, Photosynthesis? You're moving up on the list. The X-Files board game is as an X-Files fan, especially as an X-Files fan, one of my least favorite board games. That was just a shame. Now it's going up against, however, Role Player.
Oh my God, no, I love Role Player.
That's one of our favorites.
I love the entire series has been so good for me.
So Role Player's taken that one as well. That's just a great dice building game, and the one that started it all. Now Photosynthesis versus Legendary, a Marvel deck building game.
Oh.
Sorry, you're going up against our titans here.
It beat Twilight Struggle.
It beat Twilight Struggle. Which, when you say it out loud, sounds stupid, but it did. So Legendary's going to win that one too. No regrets. All right. Next up, Star Wars Imperial Assault. Now, what do you think about that?
I'm going to go Photosynthesis on this one, mostly because it's a campaign game or one versus the all, and I remember being like, well, I think that has some cool mechanics in there. It always just feels like, well, I'm stuck as the one. I'm never going to play the others unless you get the other. But then that means you're really playing that game a lot. And for us, that's not going to happen.
Now, I was the all in that when we played that game. And I think I maybe had a better time than you maybe because of that. And I do love that Descent gameplay that I think they improved in that game.
They definitely improved over Descent, I feel, with some rules.
Yeah, and I love Star Wars. So I'm going to pick Imperial Assault. So we're going to have to check the tiebreaker.
Start with Photosynthesis because that's going to be the one to remember for the rest of the round, and it is at a nice 7.20.
Oh, Imperial Assault's got 8.05.
That's Star Wars.
It's the Star Wars bump, baby. It's going to kick it up even over a darling like Photosynthesis. All right, so what's next? What are we taking on next?
And no veto, I guess, for that one.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. We both have vetoes, by the way.
We've used it once, and apparently I didn't need to.
Yeah, I've never felt that strongly about it. We got trap words. Party game, word guessing, kind of like Taboo in a way.
I do have a lot of fun with that, but I think I'm going to have to give this to Photosynthesis for, I think, the mechanics it does a really cool, fun way.
You know, I like trap words. I think photosynthesis deserves a win in this regard. I think trap words, one of the ways I sometimes break these in my head is trap words builds definitely on earlier games, and photosynthesis is wholly original, I think. Now we've got photosynthesis, it's hard to say, synthesis versus ladies and gentlemen, the team-based Victorian era fashion kind of game where you're doing all kinds of things. I think I'm doing photosynthesis on this one. I
am too, but I will say I do like the idea behind ladies and gentlemen in terms of that pairing off and you're both doing different things, but you're a team. I just think in some ways, again, it felt a little bad. I remember with our group, it was like, oh, this group was really, had the right people on the right sides kind of deal. So I think it's rough and could use maybe a second edition to sharpen things up.
It's a cute game. It's a fun concept, yeah. But I think photosynthesis is just better. All right, now we've got Millennium Blades is back again. Ooh,
I'm going Millennium Blades. I know it has the issues like you said, but I just love, like I said, the TCG sort of mocking and like.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll join you this time on Millennium Blades. I mean, I still like it. I still think it's good.
Well, you also know what the number score for is, so you know what happens. There's a tie. Unless you want to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm gonna go ahead and let Millennium Blades move up on our list. I do think it's a awesome game. Just there's it's a little for me much. And finally, we're gonna pit photosynthesis against Arkham Horror 2nd Edition.
This is the one that's not in print anymore, and it's a lot more complicated. It was one of my first games I owned, and I will not give it away. I love this game.
Now, I know that this is your pick.
Not only that, you can guess this is one I will veto on.
Now, what happens if I counter veto? Then they don't get to be on the list at all.
I think the tiebreaker will occur with tiebreaker rules.
I guess.
If you really don't like the fact I'll veto it.
I don't even think that I necessarily like photosynthesis more. I think I do like Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. With all its faults and problems, I still have fun with that game, and I generally like a real heavy theme over the more abstract style of game.
I'm also going to say this, though. Of all the games I think I've played, I mean, maybe I'll need a deep analysis, but this is like probably number one I want a digital version of.
Arkham Horror.
Arkham Horror, because of all the... Can't you just see it'd be so nice to just... Because it plays well solo if you just play it yourself.
Yeah.
Just to have all that where you don't need to spend 30 minutes setting up the table.
I do feel a little bad because I feel like photosynthesis is the opposite of Arkham Horror. It's elegant, it's tight, it's simple, it's like very pure. Arkham Horror is everything is on the table.
And unfortunately, we're Ameritrash fans.
But I think it's a great designed game, but it just didn't like hit me the way even other abstract games have in the past. But different people like that kind of thing.
I will say also, it got some of our big favorites up against, which had a really unfair matchup.
But it got some, I think it was like 50-50 more or less. It got some wins in this roundup. Let us know what you think. Where would you place photosynthesis on your list or any of our other matchups in this one? Do you have suggestions for any future things we could do on this game? Or do you want to sign up for our Patreon and vote for the next Gauntlet round? I think next time we might go with the runner-up from last game, but stay tuned.
It is a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. So that'll be a good episode. Let us know in the comments. Until we see you again, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
And this was Board Game Battle. We would love it if you liked and subscribed to this channel and supported us on Patreon as well.
If you choose to support us, turn to page 25.